What's up, guys? Welcome back to Help Educate Me. Today's podcast is going to be a little bit of rants and raves. As you all know, we just kind of come on here and talk about things that people let us know that they want interest in, and these are just opinions and thoughts that we have over the course of the last few years. I've played a lot of poker in my days, and the big rage nowadays is online poker, where people don't have to be in front of anybody, or they don't have to talk to anybody. They can just sit online and play. A couple friends of mine were talking about they play all the time, and they get into these positions where they play for a while, they get in and realize that they keep losing money because the cards come up the wrong way, or a couple people in the group, these same 3 or 4 people, keep winning. You know, over the course of the last few years, there's been a lot of insights out there on online poker where, you know, people talk about ghost playing and multiple hosting and all kinds of different things. You know, one of the theories that I've always come up with is online poker is too easy to cheat on. And people say, wow, you really can't cheat. It's all integrated with cards, and people don't understand that, you know, it's just you against the computer. The computer's flipping the cards, and there's just a lot of bluffing and a lot of other things going on. But, you know, if you really think about it, you know, online poker can be played in any state, anywhere. And if you're sitting down in one of these rooms where there's multiple tables, you know, who's to say there isn't 20 guys out there in 20 different states doing the exact same thing, where they all have each other's ID and they're all sitting on cell phones talking to one another, and they get in there and they just keep jumping tables until they get 3 or 4 of them at a table. So when this happens, you know, they can sit there and talk to each other on their cell phones and let each other know, you know, their hole cards, and they can play as a group. And basically, if they get 3 guys or 4 guys at a table, they can basically take over that table. And whoever's got the high hand at that point in time, the other 3 can fold out, and that one guy can stay in and increase their odds of winning by tenfold. You know, you got 4 guys playing against, you know, one guy that's staying in. It's almost impossible to win that way, because he's always, one of those 4 guys is always going to have the high card, and they can pool their money at the end of the night and just chop it up. You know, that's one of the scenarios that I've always battled against, because not everybody is honest in this game. I mean, the game's built off of bluffing, so that game isn't honest. You know, it's just you against the cards and the other guy playing them. But you know, it's just one of those theories that we all kind of think about. Then with all these VPNs out there and people, you know, multiple hosting, you know, he's playing, one guy can play 5 or 6 different people from different VPNs, and he can get different names built, or different accounts, multiple accounting. You know, a lot of these poker sites, you know, have a big control on the multiple hosting or multiple accounts. There's been quite a few guys caught in the last few years that have been, you know, multiple accounting and doing that kind of thing, and the poker world out there is kind of brutal on that. But, you know, who's to say that there's not 10 guys out there in 10 different states doing what I was just talking about, you know, sitting online and jumping tables till they all get on the same table, and then cell phoning each other and telling each other their hole cards. It's one of the reasons why I don't really trust online poker. I got into it big, you know, right when the big splash came out, before they all broke down and shut down, and everybody went their different ways, and you know, when Poker Stars got shut down, I got lucky and cashed out before everything got really shut down. But, you know, I didn't have a lot of money in there. I only had a couple grand. You know, it was a little bit easier back then. But, you know, when they were using it basically as their own piggy bank, it's kind of a big deal. But I know with regulations and all that kind of stuff nowadays, it's a little bit easier. But y'all have to remember, when you're sitting online, you don't know who you're playing against. You don't know where you're playing and who's jumping in there. So I always just say, just be careful. There's a lot of sites out there where you can play with all your buddies, and you all sit at your own table. You know, there's free apps out there where you can sign up on the app. You can all meet in one room and play online poker that way. At least you know who the guys you're playing with. It just gets, that's a little bit easier. You know, I've got a couple of guys that I sit down with at their poker tables online once in a while, and at least I know I'm not going to get cheated out of my money, because we all know each other. You know, and you just go on and buy in for whatever you're going to buy in for, and that's how much you owe each other, and then everybody Venmos each other at the end of the night. So it's just a little bit safer and easier way to play. But, you know, nothing ever beats live poker. We all know that. You know, live poker is absolutely phenomenal. There's so many people out there doing it. You know, you look at what Doug Polk and Nemi and Brad Owen have done with the Poker Lodge and their online streaming, and it's absolutely crazy what some of these guys come to the table with. You know, a couple $100,000. You know, I've seen millions of dollars sitting on that table before, and that's just asinine to me. I mean, that's just crazy poker. But you know what? It is what it is. We all have to remember that poker is a game of chance. I always say it's 70% luck and 30% skill. Other people argue that point, but you know what? It's luck of the cards. If the cards don't come, you don't win. So you always have to remember that. No reason to get pissed off at some guy's playing an 8 deuce because he's pissed off, and then he cracks you out because you got ace king and you bet him every street, and you know, he should have folded because he didn't know what he was doing. But you know what? If you sit down with somebody that doesn't have the skills, and you sit down with somebody that's just doing it for entertainment, that's the chance you take. There's no reason to get pissed off at him because he's playing with his money, you're playing with your money. Right or wrong, doesn't make any difference. Cards are cards. They're going to come out the way they come out. And at the end of the night, hopefully you had some fun and hopefully you won. But, you know, I'd literally love some feedback on this. I'd love everybody's thoughts on this. Anybody gets this or watches this or sees it, post it to Doug Polk or post it to any of these guys that are big in the game. And let me know your thoughts. I'd love to get some feedback from those guys and see how they think everything is. Yeah, it's probably less than we think, but it's still available and it's still out there. So just be careful, have some fun, and good luck to you. But if you like these kind of comments, these rants and raves I have, please comment below. Let me know what you think. Please subscribe. And we'll see y'all on the next one, man. Appreciate y'all for hanging out. And don't forget to educate yourself. See ya.